Alright, basically you should have this sink ready. Now we're gonna make it 3D. So what you want to do is make a copy of it first. So this is what I have for the dimension part that I sent you guys, and this is the original. So I'm gonna make a copy of it before I make my 3D object. I'm gonna use the simple command of press pull. I'm doing so because it's gonna save me a lot of time. And the way I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna press pull the outer frame, if you want to call it a frame, down, and then press pull the bottom a little bit more to give it a thickness. That I would actually press pull up the inside to give it the thickness. You'll see what I mean in just a bit. So I'm going to rotate in 3D. We're going to do press pull. You can either type it in or use your menu box. Press pull. You're going to select, once that loads up, there we go, select that. I'm going to press pull up about 4 inches. Just going to see if I'm recording. Yay, I'm recording. Okay, so I'm going to change the view so I can get a better visual of it. I'll go to view. From 2D wire, I'm going to use conceptual, my favorite. You can see it's empty. There is no thickness to the bottom. So I took that into consideration when I put that 4 inches depth, because I'm going to press pull the inside up about ½ inch for the thickness. So I'm going to do press pull again. Now this may or may not work because the plane is different. You'll see what I mean by just a second. Actually, it worked. Okay, so I press pull up. Now if that didn't work by accident for some reason, what you could do is you can extrude it out. It's be a few more steps because you have to subtract the circle and so forth, but you can still get the same byproduct. Alright, at this point, normally I would copy it because I want to start unioning parts and actually giving fillets. So that's what I have to make sure I do now. I'll copy. Okay, union these pieces together. So union. You can go to, of course, modify 3D operations union or solid editing union, or you can type it in. Whatever you like. Okay, so this is one piece. Now I can be adding fillets. So we'll do it 2 ways. We're going to do fillets with fillets and without fillets, and we're going to convert them both into mesh and see what happens. So I'm going to do a copy of this. I always like to do it every step. That way if I need to change or go back, I always have that option. Especially in union. Once you union, it's almost impossible to go back. Alright, so we do fillet. Fillet, we're going to put a radius of 0.25. It's up to you if you really want it more or less. But make sure you select all the edges. You don't want sharp edges on a sink. Could be painful. Plus it looks a lot better if you get all the fillets. So you can see I'm filleting every edge except for the holes. This hole actually I will need to fillet, I think. No, we'll leave it as is. And those you don't need to. So fillet, you can see it's all fitted on top. On the bottom, it's all square. It's so much easier to caulk to the cabinet if it's square. There we go. So we have this basic sink design. Of course, it'll be a ceramic or even a plastic laminate, maybe. That's one option. The other option we leave without fillets, and we're going to copy this again. Hopefully my computer doesn't crash. Remember, save your work when you're getting every step you go. It's so much easier that way. Alright, we have these two. Now we're going to have to convert these into meshes. So what we want to do is go to Modify, Surface Editing, and you convert to Mesh. You also have the option in Mesh Editing, I think, convert to... No, that's the one you want. Surface Editing, convert to Mesh. You select that object. It's going to come up with this pop-up window asking you, are you sure you want to do it? Before you do this, you make sure you save. You haven't saved now, cancel it and save, because otherwise it may crash. This is one of the times where it crashes the most. So I'm going to click yes, and you can see it's really deformed. That's alright, that's going to happen. I'm going to change my drafting and annotation into 3D modeling. So got 3D modeling, if you haven't that already. So, and now mesh, I'm gonna do smooth less. And click enter, so it goes back to its original shape, where it's not smooth at all. Now you can add creases, which we do want to do. So for the creases, I recommend creasing the bottom. Now if it's separate pieces like this may happen, so it's going to be a lot of work for you. But you got to make sure you select all the faces. Sometimes it's a pain in the butt, but you got to do it. Especially the bottom parts. There we go. Click enter, that's one crease. Okay, and then I'm going to create maybe a few more. I'm going to create this crease here, or you can do the circles too, cutouts. So I'm going to do add crease for this surface here. Now, since you can't see, it's kind of hard to tell if I selected everything. Changing the color before this is also a good option. Unless you guys have an eye of a hawk. Like so. That should be all of it. Except that one little piece here. There we go. Alright, before I keep on doing this, I'm gonna actually try smoothing it in now. So I'm gonna add smooth, select the object, click enter. Don't worry, might repair itself after I smooth some more. And okay, for some reason it took the surfaces and deformed them. Good thing I have a copy, because this does not look good at all. Alright, we're going to try something a little bit different. So I'm going to do a smooth object. I'm going to select the object, this one without that one had the fillets, this one doesn't have the fillets. Create to mesh. And we're going to smooth less. Alright, let me just pause this for a sec. Alright, so basically we would smooth this more in. So smooth, more, enter, enter, enter. Without the creases is not as much of an issue, but you can see the sink holes will not work. So if I zoom into those really don't work too well. I mean, if the faucet might be able to hide it, but I don't recommend it that way. So that's why you have to add the creases, and then if you forget the creases on the sides, this is what you end up with. So it's not creased on the side, so it loses its shape and meshes inside, I guess. So those are the two sinks that we designed, which may not be what you were looking for. So we're going to do one more, or two more.